What's up, good people? It's your boy Laws OSS 980. Other side of sports. It's me, it's Aaron. We in the building, rocking out. You already know. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. This is what we do our whole gamut. But we're not gonna waste no time. We know the people, they want to hear. Because Aaron, I watched the press conference. First, let me start there. Did you watch the Dan Quinn press conference?
Because you asked me to watch it, I watched it. I didn't watch the joint on my own. I ain't watched nothing these Bama's put out since they started this whole carousel, but I went back and
So
watched it.
today I always, I gotta tap in with the people. That's the only reason why I listen to radio. I just gotta get the pulse of what the people is talking about. We got more and more people as this channel grows and gets bigger. We gonna be able to gauge the pulse even better and be able to speak to the real sentiments of how people feel about things. It's been back, it's been good and bad. Like some people think this was like, you know, they selling you what they gotta sell you. You know what I'm saying? To get people in the seats, to bring the hope train back on board, and then others like actually think that Dan Quinn could potentially be a catalyst for change in this organization and franchise. And I know some of that is really hard to gauge because we're talking about a press conference, but I'm so intrigued to hear your thoughts on the press conference. What did you think of Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, that whole situation and connection? What are your thoughts?
I mean, see, this is where the this is why people kind of mock Washington fans
Okay.
because it's a press conference. It's an introductory press conference. And I've seen y'all react the same way when Dan tried X, Y, and Z out there.
Uh-huh.
And the best press conference I've ever seen, or the best person at the podium as a quarterback I've ever seen, is Mark Sanchez. And it's not even close. It doesn't mean anything. Like, it means somebody has charisma.
Mm-hmm.
It means they might have oratory skills to where you'll listen to them. You'll hear what they have to say. But it doesn't have anything to do with football being played on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear Adam Peters. I don't know if it was a slip up or if he just was being transparent, saying, "Oh, this is all new for me." Such and such and such, talking about the hiring process,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like people put a lot of stock into these guys. It's like anything other than Dan is the greatest thing in the world. We talked about that, like a youngin leaving a relationship. That just the next thing that show up, that's not the last dude, is the best thing in the world until normalcy sets in, and you look around and it's like. So it doesn't mean you got to destroy the Bama and say, "Oh, this is the worst hire ever." I think he did a good job in the press conference. He said
Mm-hmm.
some things that are stark contrast to Ron about evolving the things you did at one time because the league changes. Like acknowledging those things, that's really important for a coach to understand. And I don't think Ron understood that at all. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think Ron is that great of an X's and O's guy.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people said Ron was a good leader, and people followed him in that regard. So it
Well,
wasn't until he started
I say he
lying.
didn't. He didn't. Well, he was lying from the jump, but he didn't. I didn't think Aaron. I don't think Ron had as much introspection as I feel like Dan, at
At
least
all.
displayed on the surface. That he has a little bit of introspection and self awareness. I might
There
say.
wasn't a gap. Dan went and hired him right from getting fired. He didn't have to go be a DC in between being a head coach. So
Mhm.
that humility never set in. It's more like probably I'm gonna prove these Bama's wrong. They fired me. I'm gonna prove and keep
Mhm.
doing the same thing somewhere else. And you saw he brought the same people, the same players.
Thank you. Oh my
So
God.
it's
Yeah.
I just don't think you can win or lose anything in a press conference. Like Dan Campbell had a terrible press conference.
Uh huh.
Nick Sirianni had a terrible introductory
Terrible.
press
Yeah. Yeah.
conference.
Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah.
So it's like y'all just got to be careful. It just humors me to watch how y'all react to some of this stuff.
Hey, thank you. Hey, look, I told the people, I said, hey, listen, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say today, but I said the voice of reason gonna be here tomorrow on the podcast because he gonna be able to tell me back to say, hey, young, chill out, son. I know it's a little bit warm outside. You want to play golf, but it's still 40 degrees. Like, just chill. So, I Nah, I think you put it in perspective, and I can agree with those things. That this fan base is so, we've been beat down so much,
So
dog.
bad,
That
dog.
that we
Abused.
just we just been abused, dog, to the point where we don't even understand. Like, we don't know. We looking for anything, dog. If the Bama just pull his card out to pay for dinner, he the one.
There it is.
Because we
You
had
were the
Bama's
dude that was
like,
broke, and then one Bama take
doing
you
the
to
little
Cheesecake
crap.
Factory.
Yeah.
I got a hard working man. It's just it's tough though.
It's tough, dog. So when you hear somebody at least be competent, at least display some level of
Yes, the
charisma
bar
and
is so
have some
low.
of these, it's like we might got one.
And he said all the right stuff. Like,
Uh-huh.
you can't take that from him. He said all the right. He didn't fail the press conference.
No.
But that's like 0.005% of your grade. That's like
Yeah, that's just like writing your name on your SAT,
right,
like at the
right,
top of the page. Like, everybody should get that joke right,
right.
But
And he could be a great coach if they don't get the quarterback pick right at 2. None of it matters, though. Or
you're
1.
right. You're
Or
right.
1 if they end up moving up to 1.
Hey,
If they don't end up with Caleb Williams or Jayden Daniels, then this first run of Peters and Harris and Quinn is not going to go the way y'all want it to go. And y'all going to have
hey,
to wait for phase 2.
hey. Speaking of that, I saw this today, Aaron, and I'm like, that. I mean, the people don't know this, but y'all can go back and check the tapes because everything is there. We were the first one saying this, but maybe if somebody else say it, maybe if Louis Reddick said it, then people will start to understand that we do this over here. But check this
Is
out.
your sense that those other two quarterbacks in this draft are that close to Caleb?
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you what, Jayden Daniels is a freak show now in terms of his ability to make plays. He is fun. He is fun to watch. And look, there's a reason why he's a Heisman Trophy winner. But Caleb is different. Caleb's different. Look, I think what would separate, like, see, for me, what's going to be interesting here is when eventually we get further down the road and I get more information about what is Jayden like, the person, the student, the teammate in relationship to Drake Maye. Because as far as Jayden Williams being a playmaker, or Jayden Daniels being a playmaker, and what he can do at the quarterback position compared to Drake Maye, if I didn't know anything else about them, nothing, it's Jayden Daniels all day long for me. All day. There's a gap from Caleb to Jayden, and then there's a gap to me from Jayden to Drake Maye.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We've been saying for months.
I would
A
even
big drop off.
It's a big drop off. He didn't say it because I know he paid a lot of dollars to just kind of keep, because he
And
didn't
you
wanna,
don't
like,
want to
frame
hurt
it.
kids. Like, when you
Yeah.
look at it, the frustration comes from the idiots that want to, like, plant these people there. Like, these kids ain't do nothing to nobody. So you
Nah.
don't really want to be coming into these situations like tearing these Bamas down. But it gets to the point where that's what they do to some people. So it's like, just to make it balanced, sometimes you got to be like, hold on, nah, this ain't how it's about to go. But you don't really want to come in this joint and talk about 21-year-old, 20-year-old Bama, oh, this Bama trash, this, and that. It's just because they try to plant certain Bamas at the top of the draft, and it's hard to substantiate. Well, it's not that hard to substantiate why, but it's not football related most times.
Yeah, it's not football related, dog. I mean, I would argue, I mean, just from the game tape I watched, maybe something will change. I still think Jayden Daniels is the best prospect in this draft. I mean, I know Caleb Williams is like that. He's good. I'm not saying he's not good, or it's not arguable where he stands, but I'm just saying, if I had to pick right now, based on the game film I watched, Jayden Daniels is my guy. Now, I don't know if I'm in the minority with that. And I mean, there's still some time left to, make the decisions. I honestly, I mean, I know they're talking about Cliff Kingsbury being an OC here, and that's solidified. We know the connection he has. What do you think about the Cliff Kingsbury? Because we weren't here last week talking about the prospect of him being, the offensive coordinator for this team. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's 2 layers for this. And I think Dan Quinn alluded to some of it in his press conference. The first piece is he's a young ish offensive mind, got some star quality power to him. So you can kind of like, he also has been a head coach in the league before. He was just a head coach in the league, had success with a mobile quarterback, drafted a guy that nobody thought should have been the #1 pick other than me. And then you also have, you can kind of delegate and just leave the offense to him and not have to micromanage.
Babysit. Yeah.
And when he's a great D coordinator, Seattle and then Dallas, but when he's been head coach, his defense has been trash. So if you want to kind of just be able to focus more on your side of the ball and allow somebody who you know is an adult who has done this before at the head coaching level, who can manage the personalities and the different nuances other than just an X's and O's guy. And his X's and O's in theory are pretty good. So I think, for those two reasons, that's probably why he leaned towards going ahead and making that pick.
Yeah. I think it's good. Like I think it's good for the team. I'm not swayed one way or another. I just
He's gonna end up being the head coach in 3 years.
That's us. Potentially, right? So I think that, when you talk about like Caleb Williams, I'm of the camp to think that if he's not there at 2, whatever the circumstances, I don't think I would trade up to 1 for Caleb Williams.
You out your mind.
And the reason is because I don't necessarily know that Caleb Williams coming here is the best thing for him.
Let me tell you what you do know.
Because this fan base, first of all, he's from here. All of those things, having to navigate that, I just think that that's real problematic, dog. Because when Bama's is from here, it's a different level of like extra stuff.
It don't matter when you're a cooker. So I'm gonna give you one layer that you don't got to worry about.
Okay.
He's not a fake street guy.
Okay.
He's not a hoverer around of street stuff. So that layer that you feel like people got to navigate in this area, this is a big area. Like you got Northern Virginia, you got Montgomery County, you got a lot of different places around here where everybody is not from the same culture that you would imply that maybe a Haskins or Chase Young or other guys from the area would be hanging around certain people, certain elements, have certain politics and certain requests, or it's a certain vibe that come with certain Bama's from the area people feel like. You know what I mean? He's a weirdo fingernail painting, like super elite cooker. None of that stuff matters. Like that other stuff ain't gonna really. He's gonna be above. I feel like a lot of that other stuff that's gonna be going on.
Okay.
And you would move up to 2 if your second guy on the board is Drake Maye. Like you assuming that they see what we see and that they just gonna take Daniels and you're gonna be perfectly fine. If these Bama's have Drake Maye at 2, you better get on your knees and pray they find a way to move up to #1. Or you're gonna be on here kirking again.
Yeah, you're right, dog. If they got him on the board as #2, then go ahead and put Caleb.
We assuming that they just see the automatic. They didn't even assume in the coaching hire because we wouldn't have touched Dan Quinn.
You're right. And in the whole coaching hire thing, did you hear Adam Scheffler's response about the whole circumstance with Ben Johnson not coming, for an interview and basically like dropping out last minute? And it seemed like Scheffler had a stake in the game. Like he was upset about it. I don't know who in the Washington Commanders organization he's connected to.
Bob Myers used to be an agent. I know that. And he's real close with the agents.
Okay.
So they probably was running a beeline. He just didn't handle. Can I get an on-air apology about the Ben Johnson Bama? I told you, be careful. This nigga Harold tried to fight me in Drunken Basement a couple weeks ago.
Hey, dog, hey, listen, dog. So this is the thing. I'll say this in context too, right? I still stand by the like X's and O's piece that I think like he has, but I definitely like will acknowledge that that's not all you need to have in order to be
at
a
all.
head coach.
And he got F's in every other category.
Yeah, he got F's in the other categories, though.
He got beta nuts.
Beta max. So I just,
Y'all
And
dodged the bullet.
granted too, sometimes you don't know who you dealing with till you
Till you
sitting
deal with 'em.
across the
Yeah.
table from them and talking. And that's what I try to say about Dan Quinn too. Like Dan Quinn, I thought the Howard was trash. I was like, nah. But now that like he's at the house and he eating at the house and like he around, like it's like, oh, okay. All right, this dude okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel the same way that I felt about it before. Like it's like if my daughter dating somebody and then I'm like, yeah, I don't like this kid, but then he around the house and I see him, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what my daughter liking to do, like, oh, whatever. It just changes, you know what I'm saying, as you get to know people. And Benny just ain't it, dog.
Y'all dodged
Benny
the
ain't
bullet.
it. They dodged the bullet, dog. They definitely dodged the bullet. They was extending themselves to go out there to see him. And the Bama just apparently they got word on the plane
Right. Is
that
this
that
true?
it wasn't going to happen. So no, that's like you set up a date with a young dog.
She at the
And then
restaurant.
she at the restaurant waiting for you, and you like you send a text the next morning like, nah, I couldn't make that jump, dog. My bad. Like what?
Or she find out she on IG, she see you at the game and you supposed to be a dentist. Something like, I'm like, you couldn't even tell me directly? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
You don't want Bama's like that around, especially not no rebuild.
yeah. And the thing is, it hurts him because all he had to do was just sit down, hear the spiel, and just be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like the
That
black
would've-
coaches do. That's what the black coaches do. Knowing they not getting the job, they got to sit through these interviews. But that's another layer of privilege that they're going to get mad. They race baiting. Imagine Eric Bieniemy or Raheem Morris when he was on 10 interviews this go. Everybody hiring. Oh, we know who we got to put on the list to check the box. They got to go sit through these interviews, and this Bama ain't want to sit through one. Get him out of here.
Yeah, dog. That joint hurts him. I mean, he gonna come back. They do well next year, next head coaching, hiring cycle, and everybody's gonna forget. Ain't nobody gonna be saying nothing negative about Ben Johnson except for this tape right here. This is it.
Unless it doesn't go well next year.
Oh, the team? Oh, yeah. The team flops, then you already know what it is, dog. You already know what it is. It's Super Bowl week, Ern. Super Bowl week. We got the Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid versus Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, dog. What we doing? Where are we putting the bread at, dog?
You know what we putting the bread at.
I've
You're not
heard so
betting
many
against Mahomes.
conspiracy theories. I've heard so many NFL rig stories, dog. I don't know what to do. Dog, this joke it's so bad now that NFL and sports just in general is rigged so bad now that like it's like politics. Like you don't even know what's true anymore. You might think that they exposed to something and you try to go on the other side of it and then end up getting got that way. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Because
Like,
it used to just be us. But now that everybody betting, everybody just see like, oh, whenever you lose, it's a conspiracy. So now everybody got conspiracy theories.
No, they got San Fran favorite 2.5. It hasn't changed. I thought the line would move. It looks like the line is not moving.
I mean, they getting betting on both sides.
But I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I feel like the general sentiment is KC is going to win this football game, dog.
No,
I feel like there's a lot of.
But San Fran is a significantly better team.
Okay.
Everybody was talking about they're going to win the chip all year.
Okay.
Other than that run where Trent was out and Debo was out,
Mm-hmm.
and your boy Purdy was looking like some sauce out there when he had to carry the team, they've been pretty much dominating everything except the Ravens. So I don't know why they wouldn't be favored. I think they would be favored a little bit more, considering because Kansas City's one of the worst teams against the run, and they figured out a way to run the ball over there, and they got your boy McCaffrey too. So they should be favored. It's just that Mahomes effect. Bama's don't really want to go too far against Mahomes because you see what happened. He just find a way to get it done.
Find a way.
The best to ever do it already.
Find a way. Oh, man. Dog, so if the San Francisco 49ers win, that means Trent Williams going to get a chip. That means Chase Young going to get a chip.
Kyle
No,
Shanahan.
I'm going with them just off of that, dog, because it's so ironic, and it's only right that that happened. So they can be like, oh, they got a chip, they left us, and then we got a chip. Like, it just.
And Chase got to get a sack in the Super Bowl.
You gonna put the bread on that?
I might see what the odds is
line?
on that. If it's like plus 300, I might do something.
Dog. I saw this joke on IG. They said, you remember the Hard Knocks where they had the Jets was on Hard Knocks this year? Hold on. My prediction is this year is the Washington Commanders gonna be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, guaranteed. Because they're one of the only teams that hasn't been yet.
They the team. New
And
head coach,
yeah.
new Dan Quinn. He done showed in the press conference. He know how to, work the media.
Especially if they get Caleb Williams. It's a done deal.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal.
So just get ready. Just go ahead and put your seatbelts on for that. We done told y'all already. I ain't even got no inside track. It just is what it is, dog. Watch the Commanders, y'all Hard Knocks for 2024. But last year they had the Jets. Remember they had the mentalist on that jump one?
Yeah.
One day he was telling Bammers who was going to end up in the Super Bowl, right? So they said the conspiracy theories was this. In the episode of the show, the guy said, who you think gonna be in the Super Bowl? And it was like us and the 49ers. And the Bama turned the card around and he had the Jets and the 49ers, and it was 31-21. But the person he was talking to was none other than McCall Hardman.
That's
so
hilarious.
McCall Hardman got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs, and these Bamas no, you see what kind of sorcery these Bamas is doing, right? So they saying that the cause is right, 31-21. So I'm gonna go ahead and put about $20 on that jump because the payout like
who they have, San Fran or the Jets in
they
the
had
W?
Kansas City.
Oh.
No. I don't know. Yeah, they had Jets 31 and San Fran 21. But since we're replacing the Jets with Kansas City, it's 31-21. So I'm gonna pick the exact score, put $20 on 31-21. Off of that. If they get me, they get me. It just is what it is. But if I cash out, whoa. That joke about to be like $5K in my pocket, dog. So
you'll be psyched.
I'll be psyched, dog. I'm just going. This is what the conspiracy, but this is what I'm saying. This junk, like the way the internet works now, it's like this junk ain't a secret. So it's just gonna get out to the masses. Then they gonna just they're just gonna go back on that little back computer, dog. Put the Ponzi password in, and then everybody junk gonna end in the tie. Everybody money gonna get cash out. I'm like, what? How they do this? No, it's just how I operate, dog. I never forget. One time I went to the casinos rig too. I don't know if y'all knew that. I went to the casino, dog. I'm playing the roulette table. So one thing about casinos, you never play the roulette table that's just you and the roulette person. Like it got to be like a bunch of people on the table for you to even play, because otherwise it's donation. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. So I'm at this roulette table. It's a bunch of Bamas at the table, right? So I'm like, okay, everybody got the whole table and all the numbers is filled up, Aaron. All the numbers. You know how roulette, it's just the numbers. You play the numbers, whatever. And it's like that number times whatever, money you put down on the jump. So I put a jumps on a couple of the numbers, right? The whole board is filled. All the numbers is covered, dog. That jump hit the little green circle, dog. The jump fell on the green circle. It's a green circle. That jump went around, bing, 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 bing. And once I saw it, dog, I said, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. That jump said, bing, right there in the green circle. Dog, guess what had no bread on it? That green circle. Hey, I'm telling you, dog, the house always wins, yeah. I'm gonna bet a little bit of money. I ain't gonna get myself put out of house at home on the Super Bowl, but we with it. We gonna do that, dog. I guess for the NBA, dog. I mean, I'm not messing with the NBA till the playoffs come, dog. I seen a clip you sent me of Luka too, dog. That Bama Luka might be the worst defender ever, dog. How dare they slander Trae Young for not playing defense, dog? This Bama Luka, I don't know what kind of contract deal he got, but I want to just say this right now. Luka and the Dallas Mavericks, wherever team Luka's on, will never ever win the championship.
But you don't hear him talking about it like they be slandering Harden for 10, 15 years.
Dog, this
Terrible.
Bama Luka, he doesn't play a lick of D.
No effort, no nothing.
No,
Ball hog.
nothing, dog. If he don't score, he's useless, dog. Useless. As a matter of fact, it's I don't. It's like I don't know what to say about it, dog. Like he really puts forth no effort on defense at all. He's playing pickup, dog. He played like I play pickup. Like I'm
And
not.
he's allowed to, which is even
Yeah.
stranger. And there's no
Yeah.
conversation about it.
There's no conversation about it, bro. At all. So how dare they like try to put him in a conversation with greatest players ever and stuff like this? Stop it, dog. Stop it. Then we have Embiid. He went. He had to get surgery on the knees. Dog.
He's fat.
Yeah, he too fat.
Get in shape.
Dog. Yeah, that's 70 done. Put him in a hospital. Dog. So what are your thoughts on this? The NCAA, dog, is about to have to be playing these players. They about to start. The teams are unionizing.
They ain't gonna allow
and
that.
They're gonna have to come up with a CBA. I mean, it's in the works right now, bro.
It was in the works before, but the court shut it down when Michigan State tried to pull it off a few years ago.
I think it's a little bit different. Like right now, Dartmouth is in the conversation. Like they're trying to get recognized as employees and granted the right to unionize. And if they do unionize, this is going to allow the players to negotiate their salaries and the working conditions and travel.
They are not about to share that TV money. It's not going to happen. They're going to start murking students before they allow Bama to share that TV bread. We talking about billions of dollars.
Dog, I thought that would be the case before they start even paying these dudes, like allowing the NIL.
But that's why they allowed the NIL, so they didn't have to share the TV money. They said let somebody else pay them. Because under other circumstances, they'd be like, don't get them niggas nothing. They would never let Bama's get bread. But when they saw, the tides is turning, like go ahead and let them get that bread. And then let them weaponize that. Now everybody turning against NIL. You got Nick Saban retiring and all this stuff.
Yeah,
Dog,
they all
do
trying to get
not
out.
want to share that TV money.
The TV money is the bread. That's the bread. That's billions.
Yes.
They get that. They get access to that money. They might as well be NBA players, dog.
You gonna see Bama's playing 4 years. There's a lot of Bama's that could cook in college that's not really made for the league.
Agreed.
That could
the
just
Tyler Hansboroughs of the world.
Yeah, that could help the college game a lot because the college game is kind of fading because there's no real star power in college.
Yeah, they leave off Break City as soon as they get a chance. They out of there
or play in those like what do you call developmental leagues and stuff like that. So if you allow that kind of money to be in college that way, that might hold a lot of guys, and you can kind of get some name recognition even before guys come to the league. It's just like when the drafts come down, I don't be knowing who the niggas are. Be a bunch of foreigners and Joe Blows from college that I never seen.
Dog, if you trying to establish name recognition, they gotta stay. But if they one and done, I mean, they just gonna be people for the league to capitalize off of. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in this Dartmouth situation because if they able to unionize.
It's a lot of guys that could make more money in college than they could in the league, at least on that first contract. Like, because, I mean, everything's relative. You're talking about millions of dollars, but still in the league, in the middle of the first round, you're not making more money than like Shedeur Sanders is already making in Colorado. You know what I mean? Like possibly $10 million next year. Like, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
I know that's football, but still, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just certain guys can make more money in college, especially basketball players who nobody really knows that's going to end up going mid to late round, maybe second round. It's just incentive to stay if you one of those B+ players, and maybe you can get your name up and get your recognition out.
And
like
your bread
Caitlin Clark.
Up too. What you mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Caitlin Clark won't make more money in college than she gonna be able to make in the pros. Like,
right. And just the name. Imagine if she had already gone to the league. Like, she's the biggest star in college basketball. women's college basketball. She might be actually.
She might be.
I can't think of a dude whose name is bigger than Caitlin Clark. So she might be the face of college basketball now that you think about it.
No, and she cold, bro. She
is definitely the biggest star in college basketball.
That's a fact.
I could be out the loop, but I think she might be the biggest star in college basketball.
Yeah, nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I ain't even gonna dispute that. Yeah. I mean,
we gotta put up a video about it. We gotta do a whole segment because that Drake never occurred to me. The biggest name in college basketball is definitely a woman.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Y'all see you with your chat GPT mind working. Oh, let's go.
Like who they gonna name?
I don't know, bro. There ain't nobody even close with her. Ain't nobody even close to her.
And the next number 2 might be a woman too at LSU. What's her name? I can't even think of her name right now.
Yeah, she ain't that big yet.
No, the one that was mocking Caitlin Clark when they beat him doing the Tony Yayo joint.
Yeah, but I thought she had issue. I thought she got suspended or something. And
no, she just was slumming early on in the season. She back to normal now because she was at Maryland and transferred there from Maryland. Yeah. I can't think of her name.
Yeah, help us out. Yeah, y'all put it in the comments what the names is, man. Shout out to Cal Sankin. I think that's how you pronounce it, but this dude been on the comments since the beginning, dog. I don't think it's a video we got he ain't commented on, dog. Shout out to you, bro. I don't know what you do for a job, but you with us, dog. You family now, bro. So
you gotta get him on there.
I know, man. Shout out to everybody who rock with us heavy. Been with us since day one. Continue to subscribe to the channel, share the show, share the content. If you rock with us, if you want to comment about some of the stuff, the press conference, any of the things topics we discussed, go ahead, definitely let us know in the comments what you think. Shout out to Sports Talk Tasha, shout out to Lance J Radio, shout out to Kicking It with G-Man, shout out to Where's Buffy and my fam over there, Ill fam, and Kendall and everybody who rock with us. We out.
Angel Reese. That's what I was talking about.
Angel Reese.